Questions? Scott, how would you describe that locker room?
Disappointed, but very prideful. I got some fighters in there, and we need fighters. We've been missing a little bit of that, and that team is getting to a point that they expect to win, hate to lose, and are going to fight to the end no matter what. The result isn't what we wanted, but I'm awfully proud of those guys.
How surprised were you with their decision to go?
Once they tried to hard count us and get us offsides, I figured they were punting. That's a gutsy decision for them. I give them credit. I give Coach Ferentz credit. If they give us the ball back right there with 40 seconds or whatever's left, I like our chances of hitting a couple plays and maybe getting an opportunity for a field goal. So they rolled the dice there. I think we had the right defense on and kind of gave a little too much ground at one spot on a zero blitz and let the ball get completed in front of us, which isn't what we want them to do. And great play by them, and that was the difference.
Kind of speaks to your offense, though, that they didn't want to give you the ball back at that point, right?
Yeah, their whole game plan was obviously not try to keep the ball away from our offense. Those games drive me crazy as a play caller because you're standing on the sideline for seems like hours at a time. It isn't, but it seems like hours at a time before you get to call the next play. They did a great job managing the clock from that standpoint and having long, sustained drives. And I think we had one drive in the first quarter, and probably only touched the ball 4 times in the first half. Then what happens, unfortunately, is your offense starts to get a little tight and want to make it happen right now because they've been sitting on the sideline so long. And I think that kind of happened to us in the third quarter where we couldn't get anything going. And then once they got ahead a little bit, you kind of get that devil-may-care attitude, and we started rolling a little bit on offense again. But I give them a lot of credit for bleeding the clock and marching with those drives.
When you guys snuffed out that fake field goal, I feel like your team got some life from that play.
Yeah, I was surprised, to be honest with you. Looking at the scoreboard, I was calculating, and it was going to be a 3-score game if they hit the field goal there. I'm never going to criticize anybody for being aggressive. We turned around and faked a punt on our own 8 or whatever it was. But I wasn't even watching the play and heard fake on the headset and looked up and saw us make a play. So that gave us life, and our kids did a great job responding.
Did you hesitate on calling that 4th down fake punt?
No. If we would have punted back to them right there, I think the game would have been over. We needed to make something happen on offense, and that fake punt started a string of things that worked in our favor.
Kind of your overall feeling of your defense and also in the trenches in this game. I mean, they pushed you around at times, but then you fought back. What do you take from that in this game?
I take a lot of things from it. First, I take that our kids are fighters. I told them in the locker room, first and goal for them, down 2 scores already, not looking very good in the third quarter. They could have quit. I'd heard about how Nebraska quit in some of these games last year, and there was no quitting our guys. I'm happy for them from that standpoint. What disturbs me is right now Iowa's a bigger, stronger football team. That's right now. I never thought I'd see or hear that or say that about a Nebraska football team. That we can fix. We can get bigger. We can get stronger. Give their guys credit. They've had 3-4 years, each of those players in Iowa's strength conditioning program. We've had 1 year as Zach. They leaned on us quite a bit, especially in the first half. Thought the defense did a great job responding. But I'm looking forward to the day we get that fixed where we're not going to get pushed around by anybody.
What did Adrian show you in that 4th quarter? I'm sure he'd want the one throw back, but bouncing back from it after that and how he played.
He's just fearless and nothing rattles him. Made some great plays early, made some great plays late. I told him on the 2-point conversion, and this is what we're doing. If it's not there, you're just going to have to make something happen. And you could say that to a lot of guys, and not very many could do it. And he made something happen, and he's capable of doing that a lot.
So I know it just ended, but
How do you feel about your first season?
There's a lot of emotions this season. This was a trying year for us. Again, I'll just tell you what I told the team in the locker room. I think if we could start the year over right now with the team where it is right now, I don't know how many wins there'd be, but it'd be a fun ride. It just wasn't there at the beginning of the season, and in some ways I think some of the pain we had to go through was necessary to fix things, to get their attention, to change things, to unify the team. Wish it hadn't had to happen. This team's good enough to beat a lot of people. This team's good enough to be a bowl team. So excited about the future and so grateful to these seniors for holding everything together and helping us make the changes we made.
You won 4 of your last 7, and the 3 that you did, you were within 3, 5, and 3 points. How does that speak to how close you guys really are to going where you want to go, but simultaneously the plays you got to make in order to make those wins happen?
Well, looking back, I know a lot of you guys were sitting in that room in Michigan when I said I think this is the bottom. I think this is as low as we'll go. And to our kids' credit, they swam like hell for the surface and have just kept improving. It's gotten consistently better. It's gotten better every week. We're good enough to beat about anybody in this league right now when you play really good teams like Iowa and Ohio State on the road and come as close as we came. We're not that far away. And I know how much better we can get. So I'm excited about where this is going and can't wait to get back to work on the recruiting trail. And I know our guys are hungry to get back to work in the weight room and on the field.
Where do you guys get better on defense? Because in all 3 of those games, it was a stop, and if you get that stop, you might win. So where do you feel like you got to get better?
Well, we just need to add more pieces to the puzzle, first of all. Our depth is a real issue and really has been at the end of the year. Our receiver depth, our middle linebacker depth, our depth in the secondary, it really affected us on special teams. We got some really good players on this team and some fighters. We need to add more. Our kind of guys, talented guys, and keep stock in the cupboard. I want to get to a point where I don't look across at one of these teams, O&D linemen, and think they're bigger than us. That shouldn't happen when you're at the University of Nebraska.
You talked a lot about Stanley this year. You got to 1,000 today. What has he meant, and what will you remember about that year that you had with him?
Stanley's one of those special guys I hope I keep in touch with the rest of my life. He's a warrior. He's always ready to compete. Talk to the guys about being the type of guy that you have cleats and a ball and hoop shoes and golf clubs in the back of your car just in case any kind of game breaks out. Stan's going to be ready to play. He's going to fight to the end with you. And best thing about Stan, he's always in a good mood, loves the game, and has fun doing what he's doing. He's been a great Husker, and this place will miss him.
Scott, where was the biggest improvement in Adrian's game from September to November?
Probably the biggest improvement for Adrian is understanding concepts and what we're trying to get done with the concepts. There's still little things that he's going to get a lot better at. He's going to be a lot better next year. There's just no doubt about it. But there's got to be a connection between the play caller and the quarterback. When you call something, he understands why we're calling it, where we want the ball to go, and then execute it. Quite a bit of what we ran in the second half was adjustments that we talked to him about once, and he understood them and knew where the ball was supposed to go based on the adjustments they'd made. There was a real chess game going out there today with some of the formations and some of their adjustments to it, and they'd take stuff away that was there, and then we'd react and respond and come up with something new, and then they'd adjust. And that's a fun game for a coach and a quarterback, but the quarterback's got to be on the same page.
Take one more.
With Spielman out today, Maurice had a big day, had over 100 yards receiving. How excited are you for what he's able to do in the passing game, the receiving game, and where he can potentially go from this point forward?
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk about next year and individuals for next year. Maurice and Adrian and JD and Stoll and Farniok and Bo and Jaime. Just speaking offensively, we're going to get a lot better. We got a lot of really good pieces coming back. We're going to miss the heck out of these seniors, and I want to thank them again for keeping this thing together. When we were 0-6, this team could have shut it down, could have quit, could have fractured, and the seniors just kept leading and kept pulling the rope. I'm grateful to them for this season and the way that worked out. I told the young guys in the locker room, it's time to get back to work. And I like a lot of the pieces we have. We're going to go out and add some more to it. And there's just no doubt in my mind where we can take this thing in the direction it's going right now.